Hello, everyone. Welcome to Joanna and Jenny with the Demystifying Divinity podcast. We're glad to have you here with us today. We're going to be talking about May energies, and apparently, according to Jenny, we've got some interesting energies coming up for May. We are still doing this in April, but boy, is April interesting. Holy cow. So if you're thinking, what the heck is happening? We're going to share with you astrologically what's happening, and then I'll also be pulling messages from my team. So I hope you stay, enjoy, and hello, Jenny. How are you?
Hello. Thank you, Joanna. I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing good, considering.
Well, we'll blame the cosmos all we want, but we also cannot say that we did not warn you. Okay. And that's what we love doing. We love doing these monthly energy updates. And not only is Joanna consulting her brilliant spirit team, but she also pulls a card. Am I correct on that, Joanna? You're also doing that for each sign?
You are correct. Yes.
Hooray. I just want to do a quick check. And yes, as Joanna said, we are actually recording this in April. So we're in the thick of it. And can you blame me though, Joanna? I mean, this astrology, these energies, this time in history. Am I right or am I right?
Well, there's definitely something going on, let me tell you that much. And I'm hearing that you're not hearing it just from me. You're hearing it from all the people who are going, what the hell is happening, Joanna? Thank you for the video. I just recorded a video on that. So yes, I totally hear you. Yes, loud and clear.
Love it. We were born for this. Just keep remembering that. I'm excited. I've flipped the switch. I am ready for it. If there's anything that I keep saying, and I will continue to keep saying, is there are 5 outer planets. You count them 5. And how many of them are changing signs this year? 4. That is correct, 4. So again, we have not seen this time in history. Maybe there has been a time in history, but us astrologers cannot find that time in history in which 4 of the 5 outer planets are changing into different zodiac signs. And so we are in it. And if there's one word that I would like to collaborate with the word May for May energy is momentum. It's another M word. Would you agree? Are you feeling the vibration of the word momentum, Joanna?
Well, got on the call, I kept feeling a lot of fast-paced movement, like a lot of fast-paced. And the verbiage that comes with that energy is slow and steady and divine timing, as in try your best to be in the moment amongst everything that's going on.
For those of you that aren't watching and you're listening, Joanna and I are starting to giggle uncontrollably.
Oh my gosh. It's speaking of the word control, it's a lot of it seems to be about letting go of control and being more in the flow. But there is actually what's happening is there's a lot of upside down things happening in our world right now. Everything seems to be going haywire. Not necessarily a bad thing, but boy, it feels like a lot of changes and fast movement. In fact, I want to throw this in because it felt very important. I was reading a book just the other night, and the Canadian collective that was channeled in this book said that these days we can heal 1 year worth of emotional trauma in 4 days. So what used to take 10 years to work through is now 40 days. This is how fast everything is moving. If that doesn't tell you it's a fast paced, I don't know what will. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you because I found that fascinating, interesting, and also very good, which means we don't have to get stuck in spaces for too long if we don't want to.
Oh, okay. 2 things pop into my mind. First and foremost, I'm not going to give away any spoiler alerts whatsoever. But Joanna has downloaded a brilliant manifestational tool that she has so generously shared with me. I only started it on the weekend, and there are already 2 undeniable signs from the universe that I'm on the path, that it's unfolding, that it is happening. And Joanna doesn't even know what they are. I haven't even told her yet. But it's like, it's that momentum of things moving so fast. If we're willing to jump on the crazy train, like get on the timeline of our higher self, right? And Joanna has this tool. Again, I'm going to stop sharing because she will reveal this amazing tool for those that are ready when they are ready and when she is ready and blah, blah, blah. And I just wanted to say that that's all part of that momentum and things moving so fast. and us learning how to step onto our highest selves timeline. So thank you, Joanna. A little plug for those who want to work with Joanna. And then the other thing I want to say is that Uranus is moving into Gemini in July, early July. And that's all, like, this energy is getting us ready for that, because boy, if you thought things were moving fast now, wait till July, early July. Uranus going into Gemini, quick, fast, brilliant, all that stuff. So anyways, I could go on and on and on. Joanna, would you like to just say a little something about this and all that before we start going into an all signs forecast for May?
Yes, in fact, I asked, so I was drawn to a certain deck of cards. If you guys can see it on the screen, I forget what it's called. I'm going to have to look it up. But anyway, these are energies that are apparently helping us collectively and individually. And I asked, what is the energy that we're working with collectively? And the idea of conception came up. But because it came to me in reverse, it showed me that we are in the space of creating new, but we are also at the same time of a lot of resistance. So if you are feeling the push and pull right now, you're likely feeling the effects of this energy. And I'm going to just read this to you. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibility of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. So it's a space of incredibly fast-paced manifestation, but it also brings with it a lot of resistance. That's what wants to come through me. Is what I'm saying, Jenny, making sense to you logically? Does
Yes.
it? Okay, because I'm just I'm right brain right now, very right brain. So if you are feeling the push and pull, this is likely the energy that you are experiencing. It's neither good nor bad. It is, but it can feel a little bit chaotic. Yeah.
And it's what Joanna and I are always going on and on about. Like, are you going to keep telling those stories? Are you going to stay in that victim mentality? Or are you going to refuse to retell them because you want to get onto a different timeline with your higher self and all the abundance awaiting you, right? So a lot of us are feeling that resistance. And we have these moments of dipping back, going forward, dipping back. And it's like a lot of this back and forth moment right now that I think that what you're talking about as well. So the astrology is preparing us for all this new era energy, and it's a lot.
It's like the words that want to come through my mouth is, well, if we want a lot of change and we want fast change, then things are going to change fast, right?
Right.
Yeah. I want tomorrow now. I want it now. Well, be prepared for it, right?
I love that.
So, yeah. All right,
Beautiful.
let's do it.
You know, let's jump into the 12 zodiac signs. I will provide this timestamps. Thank you so much for that feedback. We are going to be doing that from here on in on our podcast. So thank you. That was just the quick intro. And now we're diving in. You can listen for your sign. You can listen for your cross watching. You can listen for your rising, your moon, your Venus, whatever you like. Okay.
I have an idea that just came to me. It's going to throw you off. It threw me off. Let's do the signs from the other end now today. What do you think?
I've got you.
All right.
Pisces. Okay, we're starting with Pisces today because why the heck not? And you're going to remind me if I've skipped over because I think in that linear way. So Joanna's writing down Pisces first. Yes, Pisces. We love you for always being so patient. Today you get first. Okay, Pisces. Are you okay? Because there was that Pisces pile up that we talked about in the April update. And what I mean by that is there was a whole bunch of planets in your sign. We're talking a whole bunch. We're talking a pile up. It was a Pisces party. Wondering if you're okay. Sorry. The North Node is currently in your sign, and it's at the end degrees of Pisces. Okay, so that's going to be an 18-month cycle. The North Node always moves through. It takes 18 months, right? So we've just started that, and we're at the end degrees of that. So you're always listening if your sun is like end degree or whatever. That might be too astrological, too much jargon. That's cool. That's no problem. But I've got to say Saturn is leaving your sign on May the 25th. That's right, Saturn. And you didn't like Saturn really being there, did you? So can I hear a heck yes and hallelujah. Okay, so not only all those other planets came and went, right? Because it was Mercury and Venus, but those move fast, right? Those move fast. Saturn is leaving your sign on May 25th. What did Saturn teach you, Pisces? Boundary work? How to put up boundaries? Joanna's picking up on something. I know she's going to say something. The moon will be in your sign May 20th and 21st. So that activates new moon energy for you, Pisces. What you can do is you can take out your moon journal that we sell on Amazon, and you can write your intentions during that time. But you can also give a hallelujah to the great goddess about that Saturn leaving your sign. What were the boundaries is the big question. Did you put down boundaries? Do you now know that you need to put down boundaries? I want to know if you're okay and boundary work. Joanna, what are you picking up for Pisces?
Well, I get that typical quote unquote releasing the old, accepting the new. But what came to me is whatever you were describing for Pisces, the question that came to me was, what is love to me? It almost felt like Pisceans are learning about love. Now, we all are at the end of the day, but it's like, I felt like in April, somehow you got fractured. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like you pulled away from yourself to come back to yourself once again. It's like this letting go and coming back. This is how I'm picking it up energetically. And even the way it's coming to me, it's kind of sort of strange. So it feels like the energy, it's a lot of unknown. It feels uneven, but it feels oddly stable. It's almost like you are experiencing new ways of stability, new levels of stability, different kinds of stability. So that tells me that you absolutely must have gone through the proverbial death, and you are in a process of rebirth. June is somehow symbolically shown to me. So between when you're listening this and June, there is something quite extraordinary happening. And I see a lot of fish, which fish to me symbolize luck. So there's a lot of luck that seems to be on your side. Does that make any sense?
Fish is Pisces, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, duh. Right. Of course.
I love it. The fish. Oh,
my guides are funny.
Hey, please pull a card for Pisces. That would be lovely.
It's actually called Universal Love. And that's number 44, which to me symbolically, 4 is always about stability, but 44 to me represents creating new levels of stability. So you talked about boundaries. We need boundaries for stability reasons as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the message, what is love to me? It's like you're questioning, what is love? What is love to me? What does that mean to me when someone loves me or when I love someone? And we tend to think that we know, but actually when we ask that question, it can mean many things. Right?
Yeah. Beautiful. I love it, Pisces.
That's what I have.
Pisces, you got this. Okay, we're on to Aquarius now. Pluto is in the early degrees of your sign. You know this. You've felt it. It started in November of 2024, and it's going to leave in March of 2043. So Pluto's going through your sign, Aquarius, and you know it, whether you're a late degree Aquarius or not, right? It's going to station retrograde on May 4th in your sign. And it's going to do that for 5 months, Aquarius. The Pluto is stationing retrograde at the beginning of May in your sign. It's going to go back to 1 degree of Aquarius 5 months later. That's how slow Pluto moves. So that's happening for you, Aquarius. So I know you're feeling that. And you always feel these planets when they station either forward or retrograde. And for you, it's going to be retrograde on May 4th. The moon will be in your sign between May 18 and 19. That's great new moon activation, setting your intention energy, Aquarius. But the big news for you, yes, Pluto's been there since last year, but it will be stationing retrograde in your sign. What are you feeling about that, Joanna?
Well, it's interesting because, at the very beginning, I was talking about how there's a lot of topsy-turvy energies, but also we're needing to be more present and more in the moment. That's what Aquarius is getting. It's here and now, not getting so much stuck in the past. Oh, what if things were different? What if things were like this? What if, what if? You can what if yourself to death. It's not going to change what has transpired in your past. And I feel like this is very much about accepting your past and moving on. And this is what we often do. We say, no, I've accepted my past, but we're not moving on. And we know when we're not moving on, when we are repeating the same patterns from our past. So if you are finding yourself in a similar pattern, then something from your past has still got you. So it's like you need to go back and ask yourself, how am I holding myself back? And by the way, the phrase "say yes to the dress" came through. So I wonder if some Aquarians are going to be getting married or changing status, or maybe you're thinking of buying yourself a nice dress and the universe is like, say yes to the dress. It could mean something else for you, whatever it is. But I feel like there is a potential there for status change. But being in the moment, I think that's the biggest message that I'm getting, being present, being very, very present, and no longer being stuck in the proverbial past. That's what I have for Aquarius.
Love that, because a lot of people are afraid of Pluto's power, rightfully so. But Pluto seeks to transform us. So are you willing to step into that transformative energy that Pluto is so boldly offering you, since it's moving through your sign?
Oh, and by the way, when I got this statement, say yes to the dress, I also saw the number 7, which is to me symbolic of rebirth, but also the month of July. So for some of you, you might be saying yes to the dress in or around month of July, but that's just the side note.
Capricorn. So we've just gone over how Aquarius has been moving through Pluto, and now Pluto stationing retrograde in their sign. Well, Capricorn, you just went through that since 2008, didn't you? Because Pluto went through your sign. And I'm always giving Capricorns credit where credit is due, because yes, you survived Pluto going through your sign, and there are no planets in your sign. And Mars is no longer opposite in Cancer, because Cancer moved into Leo in April. So you know what, Capricorn, let's just take a little minute here and let's just give a big old clap for you, because you deserve it. You're having a little bit of a breaky poo, and I'm really happy for you, Capricorn. The moon enters your sign on May 15, 16, and 17. So that activates that new moon energy for you. So I highly recommend you take out your moon journal, you set some intentions, and take this time to rest and to heal and to relax and to rejuvenate, because you deserve it, Capricorn. How are you feeling about all this, Joanna?
Well, we've got the card of transition.
Yeah, it's that energy, isn't it?
Yeah. So the frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-end changing nature of existence in our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. I would also say a similar message that I gave on my latest YouTube video. When our computers are upgrading, we have to back off and let the computer do its thing before we can jump on again on the upgraded computer and then benefit from the upgrade. So I feel like I want to say, don't try to overmanage too many things right now, because you're in transition. You're changing, you're shifting. And what you see for yourself a few months from now is probably going to be a little bit different for some of you, a lot different than what you're seeing for yourself right now in this moment. That's how fast you're changing. And remember, we are shifting so quickly right now. We are doing a year worth of healing in 4 days. So imagine waking up tomorrow and all your quote unquote limitations. You're going to be the same person, but less limited. That's going to change your entire life. By the way, you will change your entire life. So, and I just get a lot of internal focus. So this is a time for internal focus, going within. Yeah.
I love that, because Capricorns are the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And so if you want to be the greatest of all time, like, you just can't keep running. You have to take a little break. You're going up the hill like the GOAT. I get it. But like, sometimes you need a little rest, Capricorn. And this is such a moment for you to embrace that rest energy. And Joanna picked up on it too. I love it.
I'm hearing someone, and it's a Capricorn, saying to me, I need my proof. And the universe goes, look at your life and the underlying unconscious beliefs. You'll have your proof right in front of you. So I don't know who the message is for, but This is to show you how powerful of a creator you are. You look at your unconscious programming and see what you're holding on to in terms of your truth, and look at the corresponding 3D experience. You're going to shock yourself how powerful you are in creating what you believe in.
If anyone can do it, it's the goats.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thank you. All right. Sagittarius. Okay. There's no planets in your sign, Sag. All those oppositions to Gemini. So the sun, Mercury, Jupiter, a new moon. It's happening on May 27th, right? There's that new moon in, in Gemini on May 27th. So you've got no planets in your sign, but you do have a lot of oppositional energy because lots is going on in Gemini. And so oppositional energy, it's across the street. You know, they say opposites attract, right? So it's like when you have oppositions in your natal birth chart, it's an opportunity your whole life. If you have that, like the sun and the moon, you're born on a full moon, your whole life, you're being asked to make decisions, do the things. And so Sagittarius, that's what you're feeling this month. So sure, there's nothing particularly in your sign, but this month you are really being asked and urged strongly by the universe to make some decisions and do some things. And I know you can do it, Sag. Your fire sign, you're fire. You got this, right? The moon's going to be in your sign on the May the 13th and the 14th. And so that activates new moon energy for you. So you can write your intentions. You can plant some seeds in that dark soil with the dark moon. That's your opportunity to do that and to do some manifestation work. As we've been saying on this whole podcast here, now is the time for all of us to really step into that manifestational energy. And I know you can do it, Sag. You got that fire on your side. What are you picking up on, Joanna?
Well, I feel like if you're a Sag, and I have my rising is in Sag. No, my moon is in Sag.
Moon, yeah.
But what I'm feeling is a change of direction. And it is not what you thought. It feels like, I'm just looking at the messages here. There was a change of direction, but the direction feels like it's path less walked, how I'm going to say it. A path that's less walked. And you are asked to have courage. So likely your situation is changing. Something is transpiring in your life, and life is nudging you. And maybe for some of you, it's pushing you somewhere where you're not feeling very comfortable. Now, there are two ways to approach this. Feeling uncomfortable, you may say, well, it's uncomfortable, I'm not going to do it because it's bad. Or feeling uncomfortable means you're stretching boundaries. It's the latter for most of you. So there is some change of direction. It feels like it's a lot of work, but I feel like oh God, it's worth it. So for most of you, there's going to be something in front of you, some change of direction. The words are, yes, you're qualified. So whatever that may be for you, you're already qualified. If it's presented for you, chances are you're likely qualified. Have courage to step up, literally. Have courage. No more holding yourself back.
It's time. Yeah, so we just had Neptune move into Aries at the end of March, and it's for all of us. I don't care what sign you are, but I mean, since Aries is a fire sign and Sag is a fire sign, that's a trining energy. We're all being encouraged, like, okay, so we've done all this inner work and we have these spiritual gifts now. Do something, please. Please shine your light. Please, the world needs it. So I know that I'm sure, picking up on that energy too, right? It's time for us to get out there and do some work now.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, you're likely someone who is here to help shine a light on those two categories.
I love it. Scorpio, we love you. Lilith entered your sign on March 27th. So you're still getting used to that energy because that is powerful, powerful. Dark moon Lilith energy. Lilith reveals your shadows. And a reminder, it happened right at the eclipses and the Neptune into Aries time too, right? So it's like, okay, Lilith entered your sign right around all that time, end of March, crazy astrology. And so Lilith said, oh yeah, I'm going to go into Scorpio. That's exactly what I'm going to do at this time too. So I know you're feeling it, Scorpio. There's going to be a full moon at 22 degrees, Scorpio, on May 12th. So the full moon of this month is in your sign at 22 degrees, Scorpio. So what's being revealed? What is being manifested? What needs to be released? What's door needs to close so a new door can open, Scorpio? Lots going on for you. A lot of magical, shadow worky, transformational stuff, and then illuminating energy from the full moon, illuminating in that dark sky, like a shining light in the sky, illuminating what you normally can't see in the dark. So shadow work much? What do you think, Joanna?
Mm. Well, the image I had when you were talking is an energy of pulling back. If you're a Scorpio, you're likely going to be pulling back. I don't know exactly what this means, but you're pulling back your energy. Maybe you're someone who is used to, quote unquote, giving your power away, or giving yourself away, or not paying attention to how you feel and overdoing or overgiving, and you're pulling back your energy. It feels a little bit odd because you're not used to doing that. So if you're learning how to pull back your energy, how to be more in tune and in truth with yourself, it's not that you haven't been in truth with yourself. It's that you have been denying your own truth in favor to be loved and accepted. So if you're someone who has neglected your own truth because of the fear of being abandoned, then you are likely pulling back that energy back to you. You'll stop giving your power away. And the throat chakra came up. So this is the energy that's supporting you in terms of how you communicate. Obviously, it's very important to express. We don't just express with voice, we express with hands and energy, but it's very important for you to no longer suppress your voice if this resonates with you. You're also whole and complete. I feel like they need me to say that. You are already whole and complete. And most humans have a issue with that. Most humans have an issue with accepting that. Whatever your belief is around not being whole or complete, that is your training. That's your human training. You have been trained to believe that you are not that. Period. As Jenny says, mic drop. The sooner you accept it, you don't have to believe it yet, but the sooner you accept it, the better off you are.
Well, it sure hit because I'm a Scorpio rising. Like, oh yeah. And knowing what's mine and what's theirs and not blurring that up has been a lifelong journey for myself. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Libra, we just had the full moon in your sign on April the 12th. Okay. So you just were feeling La Luna's energy not too long ago. And what was or was not manifested in your life? Because I keep saying the word manifestation around a full moon because full moons often bring something, or it's that urging you knew 6 months ago at the new moon in your sign. You knew I should plant seeds. I should work on this. And then the full moon in your sign shows like, oh, you did or you didn't, right? What showed up or what needed to be done or what needed to be balanced or ended or released. So Libra, I know you're still pondering that, or maybe you've got a great story you'd like to share with us in the comments. The moon is in your sign again on May 8 and 9. So that activates that new moon energy for you. So you can really, really tap into La Luna's energy. You did in mid-April. And now again for some new moon energy. Let us know how you're feeling, Libra. And what about you, Joanna? What are you picking up for Libras?
So the first message came through, and I'm sure it's a little bit facetious to make people laugh, but the first message was, get over it already. Now, I have a very funny team, and they, by any stretch of the imagination, never make fun out of what we're going through, even though I know it's funny for them because humans are funny from a higher perspective.
We're funny.
But this is a little bit like, okay, are you still holding on to something? And if you are, is it worth it? Are you still fighting with somebody? Better make sure that it's worth it to you. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your energy. So if there's anything you're wasting energy on, unless you want to consciously say, I'm going to waste my energy on this, I always say to you, my hat's off, you're doing it powerfully. But chances are you're not going to do that because why would you want to suck yourself dry? Because it sucks your energy. So that's the first message. The second one was know your intentions. A lot of people, I want this, I want this, I want this. But then I say, what is it truly that you want? Well, I want money. Okay, I know you want money, but what does money represent to you? Safety, security. Ultimately, that's what you want. Money just happens to be part of it. But if you had a whole bunch of money, but you felt fundamentally insecure, you wouldn't be saying, I want money because I want to feel secure. You'll just be having a person with a lot of money still feeling insecure. Let's deal with the insecurity. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Yeah.
Very much.
That's just like it's a big one. And last but not least, there is a message of, it's called leg up. So for those of you who will be watching on YouTube, it came in reverse. And this message is all about insisting on doing everything by yourself, Mr. or Mrs. Independent. So if you're used to being so fiercely independent, you might want to ask yourself the underlying, why so fierce? What are you covering up? Is it maybe that you don't believe other people will be there for you? Is that what your belief is? Or are you afraid that people are going to disappoint you? So if you're afraid of people going to disappoint you, chances are you have felt disappointment. But if you're still afraid of that, that disappointment is now holding you back. So what I'm getting is message of actually collaboration. Be open to more collaborations. And by the way, yes, I do have a Libra. Oh, I'm talking about myself.
Look at me. I'm a Libra moon and Joanna's a Libra rising. So yeah, it's resonating. Protect your peace, Libra.
Yeah. The thing I'm making now makes sense to me. The thing about, oh, Joanna, get over it already. It's the constant asking question. Am I making this up? It's like, get over it already. You've been asking that for a very long time. You've got lots of proof. Getting old. That's what I have for Libras.
Oh, I love it. It's like the school of hard knocks and the tough love for the Libras out there. We love you, Libra. Okay, and Virgo, we love you too. And Virgo, are you okay? I'm also checking in on Virgos because we've got the South Node going through your sign, and that started in early January of this year, and it's going to be doing so until July of 2026. So are you okay, Virgo? And I sincerely mean that because the South Node is very karmic. It's the karmic lessons. And the universe is urging all of us to look at our karma and our karmic lessons and our repeated patterns and our past programming regarding Virgo things, Virgo shadow vibe things and Virgo energy. And so, of course, you're feeling that as a Virgo. How could you not, right? So are you okay, Virgo? Are you keeping up with taking care of yourself and self-care? The full moon lunar eclipse in mid-March was in your sign, and you might still be feeling that one. It was very activating because that was in your first house, right? And that's new moon, solar eclipse activation energy, right? So what came in, what left, you might still be pondering that, Virgo. And again, we are thinking of you. We know you got it, Virgo. You're so grounding and we love you. The moon will be in your sign May 5, 6, and 7. That's activating that new moon energy for you to really working on some manifestation and setting intentions. So did I get a little too sappy there, Joanna, or how are you feeling about the Virgos?
Well, actually, I picked a card, it's called Earth, but what I'm picking from that right away is just a lot of grounding, a lot of stability, a lot of healing of the throat chakra and the heart chakra predominantly. In my image, I see a lotus flower, which to me is representative of deep birth. But it's interesting because I feel births in different ways. Some of them are chaotic, dramatic. Your birth seems to be, I almost want to say it's quiet. It has this feel of tranquility to it. So I feel like if you're Virgo, you're going to experience new levels of stability. Incidentally, before Jenny said the Earth thing, I saw an image of you standing out on a beach. That was a metaphor, and your feet were in the water. So that's very stabilizing. That's very rooting. So I would say this message represents you doing some rooting deepening your inner core and grounding with Mother Nature, like, go and talk or hug trees, like anything that's grounding. I feel you need a lot of grounding. Not necessarily because you're ungrounded, but it just feels that new levels of stability is what I feel with Virgo. That feels good to me.
It's work, but it does sound great, but it's work. Yeah.
That's
You
all
got
I
this.
got.
You got this, Virgo.
That's it. Feels good.
Leo, yay. So Mars entered your sign on April 18th. So yay, we were so happy for you. We talked about that on the last podcast. But I will say, Leo, of course, you're dealing with Pluto opposite your sign. Okay. And you're going to be dealing with that. You started dealing with that in November of 2024. And then you're going to be dealing with that until 2043. So, yeah. So here's your sign and here's Pluto, right? You're a Leo, you're proud, you're all heart, you're brave, and you've got Pluto across the street for quite a long time, asking you to really embrace this opposition energy. So, and with Mars being in your sign, this is the time to really step into that courage. You've got the heart, Leo, you've got it. Would be my advice to you. That's what I see from the cosmos. I'm sure Joanna's picking up on some stuff too, but just remember, Leo, you've got that fire. You've got it within you. You've got the courage and the bravery to go forward at this time. And just to know that Pluto opposition energy is real, but to make decisions, you're being urged by the universe to make some decisions and do some damn things. Okay, Leo? Moon's going to be in your sign May 3 and 4 and May 30. So the very beginning of May and end of May, you're going to have that new moon energy. So even more support from the cosmos, Leo, for you to set those intentions and do the work. So you're being asked to do some work, Leo. Okay. Like, let's be honest, make some decisions because holy moly, do we need your light? You guys are the lightest, the brightest of us all. Right. So shine the light. You might need to make some hard decisions and do some damn things, but I know you got it, Leo. You've got the courage. Joanna, what are you picking up for the Leos?
Well, the whole thing with decisions, I'm like, okay, we're talking the same language. I was getting the same input. But the first word that came to me was prosperity. And so I pulled two cards and I kind of I'm just going to show you for those of you who are watching. And then I look at them and I perceive a whole bunch of information. So what this is saying to me, the way it comes across to me, is that you're in a space where you're either needing or wanting to make long-term decisions. Make sure you do it from a space of calmness and completeness. Don't do anything out of fear. Now, as a very practical Taurus person, I always say there is very few things that are black and white. Sometimes it's that, yeah. Sometimes we make things out of fear because, well, it feels like we have to. So I'm not saying that you're never going to make a decision out of fear. Sometimes we make really good decisions out of fear. That's important. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these long-standing fears that is part of your negative programming, and you will make choices and life decisions based on that. You want to make sure that you're not choosing based on your limiting programming. That's the biggest message that I can give you right now. It has everything to do with prosperity.
Yes.
So if you think you can't, wrong. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I know. I have full faith in Leos. They're the ones that rule the heart. And so, but big decisions, there's big, and it, like you said, long-term decisions, not just like what's happening next week. No, we're talking until 2043, you're going to be feeling this. I'm not trying to sound fear-based, but like,
well, this is good stuff. This is
make the decisions to do the thing. Leo, I know you got this.
It's like giving me the word. Make sure you keep saying the word you're qualified. So if you are doubting, of course, don't do surgery unless you're a surgeon because you're not qualified or qualifying, just in case. But anything other than that, if you're doubting yourself, the universe is like, no, that's your limiting belief system. Let go of that. You're more than qualified.
I love it. And it brings it back to Neptune being in Aries, and Aries, that's a trine to Leo. So Neptune went into Aries end of March, and it's like begging and urging and demanding all of us to like do the damn thing. You've been thinking about it with Neptune and Pisces. Oh, it's dreamy. Oh, this and that. Oh, I'll think about it later. No, Neptune in Aries is saying, okay, do it. I know you got it, Leo. Cancer. Okay, Cancer. Mars left your sign on April the 18th, and thank the good, great Lordess, because that passive aggression all around you, or perhaps you were drowning in being passive aggressive, or maybe you were the victim of all the passive aggression or the survivor of that. Can we just say Mars has left your side and thank the great goddess? Because I know you were feeling it. Nobody liked it there, especially you. Now you can feel comfortable again, Cancer. Okay? The moon's going to be in your sign on May 1st and 2nd, and then again on May 28 and 29. And thank God for that, because the moon belongs in your sign. So use that energy at the beginning of the month and the end of the month, Cancer, to set some intentions and just bathe in La Luna being in your sign and thanking the Lord that Cancer, that Mars left your sign. What are you feeling for the Cancers, Joanna?
Well, when you were talking, this statement came through. In order to see better, you need to take off your lenses. And that's a big ass metaphor. So normally we say, hey, if you want to see clearly, put on your glasses. They're saying, no. To see clearly, actually take off your glasses. So there is something you're either needing to see or going to see, but in order for you to see more clearly, to really see what's going on, you have to take those lenses you're looking through, because those lenses are acting as blinders. That's a metaphor and a half. So the message, the card I pulled for you is called Alchemy. Alchemy is, actually, I'm going to read this to you. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembers of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. For those of you who can't see it, there's a lot of orange and red and yellow. So that all to me symbolizes a lot of ego shadow work, especially as it's more of an orange. Some of you might be releasing some old wounds around insufficiency or inadequacy, which is going to absolutely affect your sacral chakra, which is your divine feminine, which is your creative center. Yeah, I feel like I don't want to interpret what I just said, but does it make sense to you, Jenny? Does it? Okay.
Deep work. And
yeah,
we all felt it with Mars being in your sign. It was all uncomfortable for all of us, but for people with the Cancer suns and the strong Cancer placements, Mars being in your sign wasn't fun.
Not unlike any other sign. We're all looking at SHIT. So just so you know, Cancer, you're not alone here.
No. Okay, Gemini, happy birthday. We love you. The sun enters your sign on May the 20th. Mercury enters Gemini on May the 26th. Wow, that's Mercury and Gemini. Gemini's ruled by Mercury. You're going to be smart. You're going to be thinking. You're going to be writing the letters. You're going to be doing the things and multitasking and saying all the things. So that's fantastic, right? There's going to be a new moon in your sign at 6 degrees on May the 27th. The sun is going to be right next to Mercury. So that's conjunct Mercury on May the 30th. Lots going on in your sign. We've got Jupiter currently in your sign, and it has been since May 25th of 2024. And it will be leaving that next month on June the 9th, 2025. So in other words, Jupiter's at the final degrees of your sign. So much going on in your sign, Gemini. You're very smart. You're very chatty. You love to communicate. You love to say all the things, but I hope that you're not feeling too like brain overdrive, too brainy, too much, too many thoughts. What's going on for you, Joanna, when you pick up on Gemini and all the stuff going on there?
Well, the energy feels like I'm a little bit stuck in the mud. That's how it feels like to me. Doesn't necessarily feel too comfortable, but it doesn't mean that there's anything bad. The message I actually have is called orphaned. So I kind of looked at it because this to me symbolizes not knowing where you fit. It's like you're in the space of finding your own tribe. As I'm tuning into it, I feel that you are also in transition, not unlike most of the other signs. But yours feels, I feel like you're feeling alone through this process, which wouldn't be unusual. A lot of times when we go through these transitions, we feel very alone. Let me just remind you of this, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't believe it. You have a whole freaking army working with you on the other side. You cannot possibly do this thing called Earth alone. Not going to happen, but it may feel that way, right? You may actually, this card also represents a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. So you might be feeling kind of wobbly right now, right? This is not the place you're going to stay at permanently, but it just kind of, it feels kind of not dark as in bad, but it just kind of feels heavy and just kind of, And I'm always very honest when I perceive information. I always say, don't believe a word that I'm saying. This is what I'm receiving. And whether it actually happens or not, that will all be seen. But there is nothing here, and I repeat, nothing that is termed as bad. None of it is bad. It may not feel great, but it's actually essential for you to move through this process so that you can find yourself on the other side. So whatever you're going through right now, and if it feels kind of, there is other side of that, and you are on the way to being that, whatever that is for you. A lot more opulence is the word that I get. Opulence.
Yeah,
that's the message I have.
There's so much going on for Gemini that it makes a lot of sense.
And change of identity, like, identity crisis is change of identity. When we go through identity crisis, that's one of the things that gets hit the most is, who am I? Why am I here? Where do I belong? So those are the big question, right? So it seems like it's hitting you in May, Gemini.
Yeah, you got this, Gemini. Okay, Taurus, happy birthday to the later Taurus degree people. Mercury enters Taurus on May the 10th. So that's the thinker. You're going to have lots of chatty times and writing of the emails. Maybe you're going to write that book because Mercury is entering Taurus on the 10th. Sun will be conjunct Uranus on May 17th. So right next to Uranus. And Uranus is currently in your sign, right? So that's been since May of 2018. And Uranus is going to be changing signs on July the 17th. So since 2018, Uranus has been going through your sign, Taurus, completely shocking, surprising, moving. It's been a lot in Taurus.
The thing of change, is that Uranus?
Seeks to liberate, but it's shocking and surprising. And, being in Taurus, lots of earthquakes, like a lot of that kind of stuff, right? And so you might have caught up on that, Joanna, because when you get to the end degrees, so Uranus is in the end degrees right now of Taurus because it's just about to move on July the 7th, right? It's going to move into Gemini. So it'll be at the very, very final degrees. And whenever a planet gets to the very, very, very final degrees, it's that feeling of culmination, of explosion, if you will. Mercury is going to be conjunct Uranus on May 24th. And the new moon will be in your sign on May 24 and 25. So manifest with this new moon. You will have the new moon energy on those 2 days. A lot going on for you, Taurus. And when Uranus finally leaves your sign, it's just like, Oreo.
I'm a Taurus, for those of you who don't know. So whenever I do my own readings, it's a little bit different. But
right.
So what I picked up was, first and foremost, birth. It's like, okay, I can feel that happening already. And then I got the sense that we're coming out of darkness, but I am not in darkness at all. But if I don't think I'm in darkness, but that's actually darkness, I can't even imagine what lightness feels like.
Uranus getting out of your sign. Hallelujah.
So it's like, it's this birth that's happening, but it feels very deep and very ancient. And because of that, it has a lot of healing energy, but this healing energy is on a structural, physical level. It's on a structural level. So whatever birth this represents, it has an impact on the physical body. That's how I'm seeing it.
That's exactly what's going on.
Okay. And the card that came up for you, for those of you who don't see it, is called Cosmic Flower. It's number 18. But I believe 18 is the, I think, I'm not sure. I'm not a tarot. It represents new beginnings, strong new beginnings, but also endings, letting go of the old. So I can definitely feel that happening. It's very hard to put a finger on what exactly that means. The only thing I know is that I'm noticing how I perceive energy, and it's somehow more embodied. That's why I know how to explain it. And it feels very good. It feels really, really good. But until I actually feel that, I didn't even know I was in a different energy, if that makes sense.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just get ready. Get ready for the liberation.
Yeah.
It is, and it is a rebirth, right? It is very rebirthing and renewing to be liberated, right?
Well, and our birthdays are in April and May. So that's fitting. And I'm going to Sedona, and I'm always getting activated when I'm in Sedona.
Okay, Aries. Okay, Aries. Are you okay? Sorry. I'm laughing because I'm hardcore Aries. So in April, Venus and Mercury were retrograde in your sign. Okay. The sun was conjunct right next to Chiron, the wounded healer, in your sign. And there was a new moon solar eclipse in your, that's right, in your sign, Aries. Okay. Yeah. So Venus is currently in your sign, and it's conjunct right next to Neptune at 1 degree. That happened, that's going to happen, on May the 2nd. Mercury's in your sign, Aries, and it's right next to Chiron at 24 degrees of Aries, and that's happening on May the 7th. Saturn is going to be entering your sign on May the 25th. And I will remind you that Neptune entered your sign, Aries, on March 30th. So I keep going on about these 5 outer planets, and 4 of them are changing sign. Well, 2 of the 4 are going into Aries. Neptune into Aries May 30th, and then Saturn into Aries on May 25th. Okay. And I'll just give you a little reminder for those of you that haven't been watching every single one of our podcasts. I know it's not many of you. Last time Saturn went into Aries, that was April 1996 to June 1998. And what were some of the themes that were happening out there in the world? Well, that was the rise of the internet, right? That was the cloning of Dolly the sheep. Remember that one? That was the Rwanda genocide. That was the Asian financial crisis of 1997. That was Hurricane Mitch of 1998. All of that happened while Saturn entered Aries. And again, that's happening into your sign on May 25th. I feel like I need a breather because holy macaroni, that was a lot for Aries. The moon will be in your sign May 22 and 23. That activates that new moon energy, setting the intentions.
Yes, I want to do that.
Take it away, Joanna.
In other words, is the message, hey, just FYI, anything can happen. That's what I'm getting.
Thank you so much.
The message is you are ready to emerge.
Yes, I am.
You're ready to emerge. And I pulled this beautiful card that's a person with wings emerging. And the message is you can be assured that you are ready for anything right now. You know what you need. Your skills are sharp. You've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge, and you sense a new phase of life about to begin. People respond to you, confidence and trust. This is an auspicious time to begin new things. I want to be an Aries. Beautiful. We were born for this. It's beautiful. And the other thing I want to say is you ain't seen nothing yet. Jenny is an Aries in my life, so I'm going to be monitoring closely what's going on with her.
Dee do. It's a lot, and I'm loving it, and I'm feeling it, and holy moly, if there's any advice to be given, ground yourself, drink that water, do the meditation, because it's all happening. I feel the good busy too, and it's amazing that your team's picking up on that, and that's what the message from the Oracle is too. And it's new era. This is just new era, and that Aries 0 degree mark, which Neptune is going over, which that's happening with Saturn, that 0 degree Aries mark, that is like the creator degree. That is the beginning of the whole darn zodiac. That is the baby. That is the new birth. That is the rebirth. mark. And so we're getting 2 activations from those 2 outer planets out of the 4 there. And it's just like, I always say that is the new year, right? You don't set your New Year's resolutions on January 1st. You do it at the equinox. So with these outer planets hitting that new rebirth, new baby, birthing energy, we all feel it somewhere in our birth chart. It's not just Aries people. We are all being reborn this year. We all have an opportunity to grow and to become aligned with our higher self. So that would be my rant for the Aries and for everybody that resonates with this Aries energy. I know you're feeling it, Joanna.
I want to be an Aries. There's no what you're out it for. One thing that I want to, I think, comment or say, and it applies to everybody. We humans, most of us listening to this type of stuff, we want to experience change in the world, right? We want to experience things better, more prosperity, more love, more abundance. But in order for us to experience that, we have to let go whatever has not been allowing us to experience that in the first place. That's called change. That's hard to let go because it's all we've known. All we've known. In many ways, in order to experience that which we want, we have to let go of all that we have known up until this point. I don't know what I just said and why I said it, but it sounded good.
And it's the very definition of rebirth, right? Like if we really do want the next highest version of ourselves, we might really need to let go of all the old stories, the victim stories, the past programming, and that takes work. And that's the shadow work that Joanna and I are constantly going on about.
Yeah. And remember what I said at the very beginning, you can do 10 years worth of healing in 40 days. That's how quickly we can heal. We're healing lifetimes and generations of stuff. If you're listening to this, I guarantee you are one of those people who is chosen to, yes, you have chosen. I know. You're not choosing as a human with an ego. You were choosing as a being that's like, oh, let's go to Earth. It's going to be fun. And then you come to Earth. It's like, what's happening? Who am I? What the hell?
Who signed up for this?
You have total amnesia. But I forget where I was going with this. But yes,
we can heal and quickly if we would like.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then coming up for June, we've got Jupiter going into Cancer. July, we've got Uranus going into Gemini. So these updates are going to keep going. So much going on. And like I said at the very beginning of this video, it's the momentum now. Like we talked about it in January, February, and everyone's like, okay. And then March hit. And now from March, the momentum's there. And so let's ground ourselves. Let's join the crazy train. Let's keep going. I know we can do this. If you got here to this point in the podcast, if you are interested in these subjects, I know there's even an ounce of excitement within you as well about being here on planet Earth during this time.
Yeah. I'm just playing. I took a deck. I want to see if there's additional message for us collectively.
Excellent.
We've got the message of generation or regeneration, except in reverse position, which means don't resist the inevitable change. And there's a fire here for those of you who are not seeing. There are some trees that will never grow from a seed until the first goes through a fire.
Yes.
There's a tree. I don't know if it's trees or a tree. That the seed will not poke through unless there's a fire that first goes through the ground. Yeah. So I'm not saying we should have fires. This is obviously, it's a metaphor.
Yes.
It's a metaphor. Fire means transformation. We're all going through a massive transformation. There's no point in trying to stop it because it ain't stopping. It ain't happening. We all wanted transformation. And, the saying, we have to accept the quote unquote, the good and the bad, right? Even though from higher perspective, there is no such thing because that's judgment. But, the coin has 2 sides, the knife has 2 edges or whatever that's called, right? We have to accept the good and the bad. And the bad doesn't mean that it's bad, but it may not necessarily feel so good as we're going through it. It's all part of the process, right? Yeah.
Thank you for
All
pulling that
right.
final message for us, Joanna. What a
Mhm.
great May update. We're wishing all of you a blessed and a productive and abundant May. And we can't wait to get to you for the next one for June. Jupiter going into Cancer.
All right. I think that's it. I can't believe we're talking about June already. Like, even just how fast the time goes, like, what just happened? I was just in December thinking, oh, I can't wait till March. And it's like already April. What the heck?
Done.
Crazy. All right, guys. We hope you
All
enjoyed
right.
this.
Until next time, everyone. Thank you so much.
See you later. Bye-bye.